What's up, everybody?
Oh, we're back.
And we're back, yes.
That's all I got.
Welcome
today.
to... What?
That's all I got.
It's that kind of day?
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all right, man. It's all right. Well, welcome to Beardsby Rankin, the show where we rank song by song your favorite albums from the aughts and on. I'm Adam Ford.
And I'm Justin Scott. Today we are taking a look at My Chemical Romance. Three cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Sweet Revenge. Dude, Justin,
Yeah.
I am not okay.
Do you promise?
I promise. Man, okay, so I have to get this out of the way right from the rip.
Yeah.
All right. I wasted my life not having listened to this album so much more when I was a teenager.
Right.
I squandered it, and I feel so bad for that. Justin, this album's great.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
And I probably only listened to like the hits off of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the rest of it. So I will attest, and I know I say this, it feels like almost every single episode, but I definitely was way more into like heavy music when I was growing up, especially around like the formative teenage years where I should have been listening to this and
Yeah.
crying in bathroom stalls. I want to talk about this as a topic episode one day, but it kind of like how fans and like super fans kind of like that is something that this band had in particular for me was number one. Most of my friends were into like the hardcore, like more metal-y kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so that pretty much translated into like, that's what I'm going to like. That's what I'm going to listen to. And this band was not nearly heavy enough. For them.
But it's still dark, which I like.
It is dark.
Yeah.
But on the reverse side of it, so I felt pressured from my friends not to really listen to this band
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't super heavy.
Yeah.
And I missed out. I missed out on that. And the reverse side of that is a lot of the like super fans of this band, like the kids, like I always thought that was a little like, oh, you guys have taken this too far, like when every day you dress up like you're going to a funeral.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like y'all realize like this is their stage personas.
right.
They don't go around the world dressing like this. They actually wear like normal clothes, and
I mean, are we
They-
sure
they
about
just-
that? I didn't follow them too
dude.
closely.
if you see pictures of them now, Gerard Way rocking that mustache looks like he would take you to a Build-A-Bear and like tell you it's okay, champ. Like he's got that kind of vibe
he's
going
an old
on.
man now. He's
an old
like
man.
at least in his maybe he's not in his 50s. Might be.
No, he's 40. Let's talk a little bit about this band, okay? Just for those who, for some reason, are not aware of My Chemical Romance, this band was formed by frontman Gerard Way, vocalist, and drummer Matt Pellincier. I think I said that right. They formed it in Newark, New Jersey, and soon after the September 11th attack. So you're looking at
Oh wow.
2001,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at 2001-ish when this band kind of comes together. You got to think that they're probably in their 40s. They're probably like my sister's age, my older sister's age.
Yeah.
Like she graduated high school in 1999. They were probably all out of high school. I know that Gerard Way went to fine arts, like drawing, and was like really into comic books and wanted to draw and have his. I think he even animated series he was trying to get pushed.
You know about Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Okay.
he did eventually get a show.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, Umbrella Academy? I've never watched Umbrella Academy, but I do know of it.
I watched the first at least 2 seasons. I think there's 3 or 4, maybe just 3, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. I definitely, I get his aesthetic, especially from this time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that, like, Tim Burton-esque, like, haunted house. Hot Topic must have had like a field day when they were like, let's get the rights to black t-shirts and anything horror kind of cartoony related, right?
It's all there.
You think about the horror elements, but they were influenced by the September 11th attacks, right? And we've talked vaguely about that when we talked about like Thrice's album,
Yeah.
because that was a big influence. And I think that's just some things that, we are 20 plus years away from that. It's so hard to remember like that was such a big deal at this time that it would even help inspire a band or like an album or like a cultural movement. I mean, it feels so reactionary.
I mean,
You know?
I would not have guessed that that's what kind of inspired this band, was that event.
Yeah. Was that event,
Would never have guessed
you
that.
know?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was one of those things. So I watched a couple people's documentaries that they put up on YouTube, and it definitely seems like it was a mixture between like growing up in New Jersey where there was just nothing else really to do, and anything else you could do was like really violent. Like it was scary going out at night. And think of all the great like bands up from that area, It's cold most months of the year. You're not really going outside for a lot of it. I think, that whole area, like the New Jersey area, that whole scene just is one. If you had to pick like two puzzles of like the emo culture or like three, it would be like the New Jersey, New England area, Ohio, because what else are you going to do?
Because it's for
And
lovers.
then somewhere in there, they all moved to California to record their albums.
As you do.
As you do. That's where all the best ones are. Okay, so in this band, you've got, of course, Gerard Way. You've got his brother, Mikey Way,
Okay.
which is the bass player. Which,
All
did you
right.
know that they were brothers?
I feel like I did after you said that. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
But now I remember hearing that at some point. You got, Frank.
Frank Iero, who was in another band at the time, and actually it was probably his like connections with the music industry that when this band got together, gave them the ability to like get noticed quicker.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And then of course you also have Ray Toro, who is like the lead guitar player. He's the one putting the heat in these songs, Justin.
He's got a very distinct look too.
Yeah. He's got like the Claudio-esque hair. So that's pretty much the lineup. You've got Gerard Way, his brother Mikey Way. And now their drummers kind of like shifted all throughout. Like they've had a different drummer. Like it's not been the one constant member of the band.
Oh, really?
Right? But you definitely have had Ray Toro, and you had Frank Iero. I don't know how you say it. Again, I'm not a linguist expert when it comes to last names.
Yeah.
But so they formed this group, and the band name actually came from Mikey Way, who used to work at a Barnes and Nobles when he was struck by the title of a book by Irvine Welsh named Ecstasy: 3 Tales of Chemical Romance. What do you think of the band name? I think it is a fantastic band.
Really? Have you seen the TikTok dude, the good name, bad name, good band name, bad band name?
Dude, I know of who you're talking about.
We don't give a toot. That guy. I think this is a terrible band name. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think I don't know. I've just like never cared for this band name. And it's probably why I never listened to him for as long. Like, I mean, I knew like Helena, and I'm Not Okay and stuff, but like I wasn't really into this. I mean, I was into this style of music, but for some reason I was just like they're too lame for me at the time.
So you are exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
When I was saying like there was just like a sentiment, and I don't know if this is from like our area, like where we grew up here in Nashville, or if this was just something that was out there, because I too was under the impression that this was a lame band.
Yeah, I don't think it really caught on until like the late 2000s around here.
I don't get why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because okay, so three Cheers for Sweet Revenge is their second album.
Yeah.
Which their first one was I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. And then the album following this, the biggest one, The Black Parade. And that's when I remember it was like, oh, snap, these guys are serious.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Because
Like
I do remember the first album. Because, I mean, I used to try to torrent those songs.
Right.
So, like, I did have a little bit. And I remember watching the Helena, whatever. I think I downloaded that video. So I was like, I was
It's a
kind of into it, but I wasn't like die hard this album when it came out. Like, 'cause I don't think I would. Like, it's hard to recall. Like, I don't remember a lot from my youth, but
right.
I do remember
We're
that
we're
now because I did see them in Nashville like really early on before
That'd be cool.
before this album came out, and I remember that
So
show.
how much do you remember of that first album? Because it is, in my opinion, it is very rough.
It's rough. There was some good Head First for Halos, I think is a song that I really liked.
Yeah.
Um there was another one too. I remember two very I can't remember the title. It was a pretty long title. But I mean,
It-
yeah, but at the
Again,
time like I didn't know what a good recording, you know what I mean, that I do now.
yeah.
Like I wasn't
Yeah,
looking for that. I
yeah.
was like, cool, this is a cool song.
So I had it too. I had it. Somebody burned it for me
Yeah.
because I remember listening to it and I was like, "This is not what I expected." Because this is what I had known was the "I'm Not Okay"
Yeah.
and the um, Helena or Helena. I always said Helena, like Mount Helena.
I think it's Helena. But
Well,
well, you
lucky for you, I
comment
have Gerard
below
Way
what
on the
it is.
phone right now, and he's gonna no. One thing that I didn't realize and I didn't have an appreciation for because I personally was going through this transformation because I was a big like Nirvana fan
Mm-hmm.
in high school, and so you would think that this kind of like dirty punk rock would be right up my alley, but I was already kind of getting into my like metal phase. And
Yeah.
I personally was getting better at guitar playing, so I wanted like really chuggy, hard riffs to pull off, and this
Yeah.
was just punk, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's where like okay, so it wasn't as heavy, and if it's not heavy, it's kind of lame, right?
I agree, and that's probably how it was for me too. But I feel like on the first one, like it was they had some riffy stuff going on. I don't know. I feel like I also found that before this album. I don't know. It's kind of a blur, but I do remember listening and enjoying
Right.
it. But I was also into pop punk around that time too, so like kind of transitioning from pop punk to like post-hardcore y stuff. Just you would
Right.
thought that I would have just been obsessed with this album, but I wasn't.
Like for sure.
Yeah.
And I agree. Like upon listening to Three Cheers at this point in time in my life,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I wasted so much time worrying about if this album was cool and not just listening to it for all the really cool things in this album. I was pleasantly surprised because I definitely obviously knew the hits,
Mm-hmm.
and there were some songs that I kind of remembered, and then there were songs that I don't remember listening to, but kind of walking away. Like I thought I knew going into like the deep listens to this. I was like, this is number one, this one's number two. And then after listening to it, I was like, dude, there's some good stuff here.
Hidden gems.
And it's I wouldn't say that this album's like a progressive, like super progressive, but they do have progressive songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do know that like Mikey Way was really influenced by Iron Maiden. There are like metal influences in here. If you love really good like fast guitars, this is there. Not a ton of harmonies. I think one of the tragedies to this album is sometimes the actual like guitar riffs are thrown so far into the background that you really have to listen almost a little too hard to really get all the nuance to what they're playing.
I mean, it's mostly just muted chords for like verses and stuff, and just kind of riffing on that particular chord.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy is what I'm trying to say.
Nothing too crazy. No. You're
Yeah.
not getting like Born of Osiris kind of like level of like licks in this. No, for sure. But I will say I was more impressed because I was more impressed because I came in with such a lower expectation.
Yeah.
You know, like I totally 100% believe that this was not going to be as good. Honestly,
No, but it is.
it is
It's again this album is full of hidden gems.
really
a lot
good.
Of, a lot of those that I'm like, I forgot about this song. Had to change some stuff up a few times to get ready
Yeah.
for this, but
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable. I'm actually surprised. I'll be surprised if we're not kind of close.
I think
on
we
this
will be. I'm feeling
'Cause
it.
I definitely, I am too. I'm feeling this. This is the best I feel going into a ranking.
I mean, because to be honest, and I mean, this is kind of a spoiler, is my favorite parts to every song basically are the choruses.
That's fair.
So, I mean, and normally, if you're familiar with these episodes, we each kind of pick clips and I pick my own clips. I did not pick any clips for this episode. He's just going to play the main parts of the song, and that's all you really need. Because honestly,
Right.
I mean, they're great songs and they're just pretty basic songs, most of them.
Yeah. I mean, what, at most 3.5, 4 minute songs?
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple longer ones, but I mean, yeah, average about. Yeah.
Average about like there's not a ton of meat here, which is kind of nice because it you get right to the point. There's some
Yeah.
songs where you're into the chorus of the song before the 1 minute mark.
Yeah. Most
You
of the
know?
time.
And I
too.
think that's yeah, most of the time, yeah. So, but in a kind of a nice way, like I don't think too much. I was gonna say there's not a lot of filler. There is some filler parts.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think they have a really good sensibility about how their songwriting is. I do know that like they work as a collective in writing the songs. It's not just one person bringing the song to the table and saying, "Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's all learn my song." They actually all kind of structured it. And I think overall you get this really nice product, It's theatrical.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of really nice stuff. And as much as we're talking about it, like there's not going to be as much stuff as for us to really dissect through during these songs because they're more simple.
Yeah.
A lot can be said with little. And I think that these songs say a lot by being a little.
Yeah. Well put.
So there are 4 singles from this album. I Am Not Okay, I Promise. Thank You for the Venom, Helena, and The Ghost of You.
I don't remember Thank You for the Venom being a single.
So that was a European single.
Okay. That's the one that has the riff.
Yeah.
Like
The riff.
It really is. Like I can't think of any other riff on this album except for that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
There's some like noodly parts, but
Yeah.
they're not like
Yeah, I mean that one sounds fun.
right. Couple last things before we dive on in. Did you realize that this was kind of a concept album?
Again, I don't know what it entails, but I do know that it was based on something.
Yeah. So this album definitely is a concept, and I couldn't have gotten there just from listening to the song.
Okay.
But in a quote from Gerard Way on the concept of the album, it is the story of a man and a woman who are separated by death in a gunfight, and he goes to hell only to realize by the devil telling him that she's still alive. The devil says he can be with her again if he brings the devil the souls of 1,000 evil men, and the man agrees to it. And so the devil hands him a gun. That was the idea behind the concept. The record ended up being much more about loss and real life than anything. So I would say it's a good split. So there's a very light concept to this album.
Okay.
I think
I can see it's got those tones to it.
there's definitely like, I don't know. There's like a playful air, but I want to say the album before this one, the I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love.
Right.
That one is also a concept album about like a 2 lovers, and I think this is like the continuation of that story, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
If you really want like the world's deepest dive into what these albums mean, there are plenty of YouTube videos that will cover that. Okay, and one last thing, just to talk about the scope of this album. Now we could go on and on about like the epicness of what this did culturally around this time.
Yeah.
How many like people like would have died for this album. In 2016, Rolling Stones declared 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge the 10th greatest emo album out of 40, saying that 3 Cheers wasn't just a concept record, it was a concept sequel, expanding the small screen story of the 2002's what I said, I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, into a big budget production, complete with ruminations on life and death, biting kiss-offs, and a series of dramatic music videos that made them MTV darlings. So this was the 10th. I'm struggling to think of what was more influential for like the emo scene, or at least like you have like emo music, and then you have like scene kids, like kids that
I mean, this
like,
was
looks like they fell into a vat of attack sauce and then came back up. You know,
this is This is that mall core.
A Hot Topic was leaking again, and some kids got into it, and they're now walking the malls.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see that list. I mean, we've got a few, but I mean, I feel like they would be like top 5 at least.
Dude, I can't. Yeah, at least the top 3. If anything, maybe the Black Parade is like a higher up on this list.
More than likely.
It's one of those weird things where like the band is on there a couple times because of how. But Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge has sold over 3 million copies to date in the United States and has been certified 3 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America.
Yeah, I guess last thing before we get into it is this album is 20 years old this year.
June 8th, 20 years, June 8th. This was recorded with under Reprise Records, Calabasas, California. And Howard Benson was the producer of this record.
That name sounds familiar.
Dude, he did All American Rejects, some Hooba Stank, some Flyleaf, some Daughtry, some Seether, some Skillet. You might have heard some of these bands.
They were all pretty much popping off around the same time.
Right. He did like Kelly Clarkson, Adam Lambert, like
all
the American Idol winners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Justin, are you ready to dive in and rank Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge?
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
And we, of course, must start off with Helena.
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 Just like a hearse, you tired of getting again. We are so far from you.
I love just that one,
man.
Just the random snare hits right there. Oh,
Yeah. Dude, what an interesting start to a record.
I love this
like
intro.
it's dynamically, it starts off soft. Like you're not going to get surprised when it really kicks in. The drums kind of build up a little bit. He's got that creepy whisper voice going on, and then boom, right in your face.
Yeah. It's a great
You know?
intro. I love this intro.
Yeah, it's a great intro. What do you think of this song as a whole? Not asking you for your rank, but I'm just saying, like,
it makes sense why it was a single to me. I mean, I know my wife loves this song, and she listens to some. I don't think she's listened to this whole record. I'm not really sure, but she loved this one. I mean, it's super. Chorus is undoubtedly catchy.
so one of the, so yes, the chorus is without a doubt a straight up banger. One of the things that I really like is this band does, like, this is such a great way for this band to show off, like, their like straight up punk elements with that, like, like for the verses. And then when you get to the chorus, man, they do that cut time feel or halftime. I never know which one to use, but I feel like people know what I mean. Where they instead of playing the they do
change the feel up.
They slow it down. Let's take a listen to the chorus, and so people can kind of get a sense.
What's the worst thing I can say? Things are better if I stay so long, and good night so long.
Yeah, epic, and then right back into like the in your face with the punk, kind of rock,
and then that's pretty much the song.
I think this is it's such an exemplary song of this band. You know, you're gonna get those punk elements. You're gonna get these big, like, I don't want to use the term epic, but they're just rich, thick choruses that just like, I mean, the way that the vocals are all layered on top of it, the guitars are like this arena style, like, rock. They're not, like, they know when to do what. And it's so cool to see. I think, have I heard this song a million times? Probably. But it's always a treat to listen to.
I agree. Yeah, I don't tire of this song too much. Like it still doesn't really, it still hits. It doesn't really get old to me.
It's also fairly short, and it's got a great little bridge section where, like, he's once again kind of doing the whispery voice kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it's between like his ability. I gotta say this about Gerard Way. This dude can manipulate his voice in so many cool ways. Like, I'm embarrassed to say that I was a singer in a band because I can't do a quarter of the cool, like nifty, like he can be screaming 1 minute and then whispering and childlike in another minute, and then like, giving like this real raw emotional sound. And this song has it all. This song really showcases all of this dude's range, not just in like, like what he can do, but like how he does it and like how he tries to manipulate the emotions for the certain part. Very cool. And the music videos really really awesome.
It's a great video. No, I agree.
Yeah.
All
Justin, where does this one sit for you?
I mean, certified banger, dude. And if it's on, I'm singing along. I don't really get tired of it. I put it at number 3.
Number 3. Who are you and what have you done with my Justin?
Right. Yeah, this one might surprise some people on this album.
And I rip my face off to reveal that I am the true Justin of this episode by saying, this is my number 8.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
This is my number 8. I was so impressed with the other songs that I felt like they were newer and more exciting to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, this is like a number 8. I've heard it. I do think it's like extremely well written. Again, this is number 8, but it's like still better than most things I've heard,
Yeah.
And this is the song. This is the song that I think launched this band. Like without this, and particularly that music video, I think that music video really showcased this and one of their other music videos really showcased like just that like aesthetic that basically this video came out. People were wearing funeral stuff to school the next day.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I downloaded this video when it came out. I don't know. I've heard it a million times, and most of the time I'm like, dude, this is like way bottom. But after re-listening to this record, I still love this song. It's taking the Dale Earnhardt position.
There you go.
Number 3, baby.
Hey, man. Number 3 on the track, number 1 in our hearts,
yeah.
right? Justin, let's listen to the next song. Give 'em hell, kid.
Give 'em hell.
There is always something so powerful about hearing like that gritty bass guitar intro.
Yeah.
That just, what you're in for, dude. This is a punk song. This is a punk rock song. It's not your pop punk. This is going to be a punk song. And I think this song purely so delivers on that punk rock aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, especially with just the nasty nothing in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know what I mean? Like it's meant to be
my
that
first
way.
guitar riff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
dude,
and they don't the feel of this song never really changes. It's pretty much the same throughout, but I mean, as
it's
you
the
should.
same throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah. The once again, you've got this really nice punk kind of verse.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get this really nice, catchy, big chorus. Again, and I cannot stress, when they want to, they make their choruses big and memorable. Like we were listening to this at work and I couldn't help but like just have these stuck in my head and trying to like hum them.
Yeah.
Because that's how good they were. Let's take a listen to the chorus of this song. This is a fun song to me. Between just like I know it's a 4-chord punk song. I love it.
That's all you need.
I think the vocals are really fun. I feel like this would be like if I was in the crowd at the show, I would be jamming.
Yeah.
This just ticks off all the boxes of what I really like. And that's why why did I not listen to this album more when I was a kid? Because this was right up my alley.
No, I agree. I mean, like Alexis. I remember listening to a lot of Alexis on Fire because they came out the same year. I'm trying to think of all the 04 albums that are bangers. I can't really think of them right now, but that's beside the point. This song is this is also a banger.
Also a
I
banger.
I
Dude,
think this is a 10 out of 10 album. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I feel like I've said it
Right.
on every episode, but that's why we're doing these albums first.
yeah, we like
But-
them. In fact, I like them so much. Justin, this is my number 6 song.
Oh, we have our first.
We got it. I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
Dude, we might
it's number 6.
obviously this can't, we're not gonna be 100% perfect.
Helena is gonna be the only different one. Everything else is gonna be the same.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think we're
I
gonna
don't
agree
know.
on this next one.
on this next one, you might be right. But yeah, so this is my number 6. Your
I
number
will say,
6.
if like I was only ranking choruses, I feel like this chorus would be higher on the list.
Which one? The
Give 'em
Give 'em
hell,
hell, kid?
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. It's hard.
Dude, it's a good chorus.
Yeah.
Again, it's got the gang vocally style chorus, like
Mhm.
punk. The dude, I just like it. Like I said, it's only 6 because there's 5 better in my book. Justin, let's move on to the end.
Nice.
He calls the mansion not a house but a tomb. He's always choking from the stench and the fume. The wedding party all collapsed in the room. So send my resignation to the bride and the groom. Let's go down. This elevator only goes up to 10. He's not around, he's always looking at man. Down by the pool.
Again, Gerard's vocals sell this song to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It sounds like he is having fun. It sounds like music theater, honestly.
Yeah.
It's almost got this, like, I can see the characters. In that intro, dude, again, you got that punk rock, and then when that higher lead guitar part comes in,
Yeah.
dude, it's whimsical.
Oh yeah. It's dark. It's one of the darker intros that I love. I'm a big fan of, and again, you kind of referenced that they probably took some of like inspiration from Elfman and stuff, which I'm a huge fan of. So like hearing this is like kind of got a little bit of that tone to it.
Absolutely. It's got a lot of Elfman vibes. In fact,
Yeah.
it's in my notes, and
Really?
apparently my notes did not want to let me spell Elfman correctly because it kept trying to correct it. And I was like, no, man, I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But dude, it's got that, like, yeah, that whimsical, like, Elfman vibe to it.
Yep.
You know, and it's so good. And this, you know, let's take a listen to this chorus, because again, they do that same kind of thing where they've got this like more up tempo verse, and then you get to like the chorus
Dude,
part,
this
and they kind of
chorus-
slow it down a little bit.
It's so good though. This chorus is so
But it's
good.
a great chorus. Let's take a listen. Justin, how much cyanide could you drink?
Oh. Yep. Mm.
Oh, wow.
God, it's so
Again,
it's just so catchy, man. All of these songs.
Yeah, dude. Why? I can't keep saying it, but I was so blind. I denied myself the joy of that. If I had just listened to this record like maybe 3 or 4 more times
Yeah.
and tried to come at it more like less like it's not heavy enough, and was more just like, but is it fun? I had such a fun time. Like this
Mhm.
song in particular is
Yeah.
such a fun one. And then it features probably the first
That's what I
guitar
was-
solo on the record.
That's what I put in notes. Yeah, I think it's the first one.
And dude, I don't know if I said it earlier, but these guitar players do not get the credit that they deserve. And I'm sure they probably did back then, but I was a terrible guitar player back when this came out, so like I just didn't know any better.
I mean, they're
this
not
dude-
Sinister Gates. Zachy
They're not
Vengeance.
Sinister Gates. But man, Ray Toro can play, and
He's
he
very good.
plays some really tasty, tasty stuff. Let's take a listen to the guitar solo in this song, just so people can get an idea. I think it was a lot of tapping. Or yeah.
It's just a bunch of-
Dude, it's like Thunderstruck,
Yeah.
but it sounds like a fun solo to play. I think this album goes on the list of like I want to learn how to play some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I did at
like
one
some of
point.
these solos are in this record, and for like a punk band that also has these like guitar like solo-y driven sections and stuff, like sure you had that in like other punk bands, but like this to me was like it like solos were like looked down upon, like you're being too flashy, man. You're not about the message, man. I dig it. Justin, this is my number 5.
Oh wow. The way you're talking, I thought this was gonna be a lot higher.
Dude, in my heart, 1 through like 7 or 8 are all like, no, I don't know. Like, dude, I really like it. And it hurts me to put it at 5, but that's just where it had to go. A lot of these were like, dude, this might be my number 1. And then it just slowly worked itself down.
I think I know what your number 1 is.
No, you don't.
Yeah. I think I know. So yeah, not my number 5. Definitely disrespectful to put it there. This is number 2, as it should be.
Number 2. Dude, I get it though.
I love it.
I
love it. Every time it comes on, I'm like, let's go. Fucking
let's go.
yeah. Not much. There's not much to say, man. It's got everything I love.
It's
dark.
It's a rock song.
Yeah.
It's a good rock song. You're gonna have a good time. When you're done listening to this, just go listen to this album and just enjoy it the same way. Like I'm giddy in my heart. I feel like I did when we were talking about the Avenged Sevenfold.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I'm talking too fast and like I'm breathing too hard, so my head's getting really lightheaded. Like that's how excited I am to finally get to talk to you about it, but B,
yeah,
because it is so much fun. In fact, just like our next song, I love the intro to our next song. You know what they do to guys like us in prison.
it's a good change. It's a
good change.
In the middle of a gunfight, in the center of a restaurant, they say, come with your arms raised high. Well, they're never gonna get me. Like a bullet.
now they're starting to get all whimsical on us.
Very whimsical. Justin, I've tried to write this song 1,000 times
Yeah.
because it's cool. Again, sticking with the musical theater-esque kind of vibes to it. You know, this song reminds me a lot of like Queen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a crazy transition from the other 3 songs to go to this.
This is still punk rock, but definitely more in like the Queen era-esque kind of stuff. Like a lot of these guitar parts are very Brian May sounding to me. Where like, yeah, it's being played on a guitar, but it could be a saxophone. Or it could be like another instrument, like another, like that kind of big, like the big bandy kind of sound, but like done via rock.
No, yeah, I agree. It definitely got that Queen going on. Yeah.
Justin, let's take a listen to the chorus because, again, another good chorus.
Now, but I can't, and I don't know how we're just a mask God had made us. Well, I can't, well, I can't. So much too late, and just not enough of this. Bleeding my heart for your dying wish. I kiss your lips again.
This is one of those bands where like the choruses are so much more fun when you know what he's saying. Because I did not know for the longest time what these lyrics were, and I actually just did a video like albums turning 20 this year. So this is one of the clips I chose was this chorus. But I try to like kind of mime the vocals, and I was like, I should probably learn what the lyrics are. So I learned them like this past weekend.
Dude, I love the section vocally, what he's doing when he does like the over the bar line part.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. I think, it's like, I can't even remember exactly what it was, but it's like, and it's just the way that God had made us or something.
This is one of those things that not everyone can do this.
No.
Not everyone can pull this off. We can all try. But man, to have there is a swagger you have to have.
Yeah. For sure.
And when I think of Gerard Way, I don't think swagger. But man, after listening to this, am I just so much more impressed with like again, it's not about how cleanly you can sing notes or how like
Yeah.
well you can, like how's your vibrato and your falsetto. No, this is all about the charm.
Yeah.
And I absolutely like, even in the second verse when he almost switches characters between like his like he does like the really operatic over the top kind of voice, and then he does kind of like the gremlin kind of voice, and it's just like so seamless and so much like it's a party. It's a
It
party
is.
of people, and like we're all invited.
It's very good. Yeah, I mean, he can do it all, man.
He can do it all. Justin, one last thing from this song that I have a clip of, once again, is the solo, but I've got the part a little bit after the solo
Yeah.
where it's just a showcase of them just, I guess, just being goofy. Like, it had to be a lot of fun to record this album.
Yeah.
Life is but a dream from the dead. And when I won't go down by myself, but I go down with my friends.
All of that showcase between
Yeah.
the screams that you have, like the actual like metal screams going on in the background,
Mhm.
then a killer guitar solo.
Yep.
And then you have like where they do the whole band drops out and it's just the drums and then Gerard just singing on top of that. Dude, how do you not get amped? This is my number 4, Justin.
Oh man, I thought you were going numero uno.
No, not numero uno.
Okay.
It could have been.
See, dude, I feel like I got so sick of this song, and I did.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but this was, I feel like, one of the first I'd heard off this record somehow.
Yeah.
I've just heard it the longest. This kind of falls into it, but I mean, after re-listening, I just like really like analyzed it. I was like, dude, this is a great song. It really is.
Yeah.
And
Thank God you came back around. On
I almost didn't.
that. I was worried there
I
for a second.
almost didn't, and it's my number 5.
It's your number 5. Okay, so we just like
Yeah.
we were right there. I knew it was going to be close.
Yeah.
It's a fun song. I enjoy listening to it. And then
Yeah.
Justin, we get into the song, the anthem of the 2000s.
Here
for
we go.
all teenagers. I'm not okay. I promise.
Same, bro. Same.
The same. So this is probably the first like just kind of prettier sounding song. It's definitely less dark sounding.
Yeah. I'm not about that major key life, bro. Know what I'm
Dude, it's a
saying?
very major key kind
Get
of
out
song.
of here. Get out of here.
But like I said, this was like the anthem for the scene. And you've seen the music video for this?
Yeah.
So they shot it kind of like a movie trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And so like every so often it's like, for those who were picked on, for those they called nerds. And then it's like them. And there's one scene, and I think it's so funny to me. It's like Gerard Way is like eating, I don't know what he's like about to eat something, and he like turns to like face someone, and then a fist comes out of nowhere and just punches him in the face. And it's just so goofy and over the top. And it's them playing it in a garage.
Dude, I think it's been like 20 years since I've seen the video.
It's worth a watch. I will definitely
Yeah.
say rewatch it now that you're not a teenager, because it's definitely like slapsticky and not as deep feeling as you think that they were trying to go for when you were a kid.
Right.
Like, it's like emotions and feelings, and now like being older, this song doesn't hit the same way.
Not quite.
Like, and I'm not trying to say that you people don't still deal with like problems like this, So I totally understand the hype behind the song, but the music video is definitely kind of goofy. I think as a song, it's very straightforward. And for how fun this record has been up to this point, it's almost too straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely meant for the radio, I feel like.
Yeah. Like they like a record executive was like, "What can we?" Because I think this was the first single, right?
I think so.
I think this was this was before Helena.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and it's just like it's in the front of the record, like, that's where you put most of your singles, or you're supposed to.
I think this definitely has the most like broad, like wider appeal.
Yeah.
To like more people. Like if you weren't into like a punk rock scene, you could like this song. And like I was saying about their record producer also did All American Rejects. You kind of get that All American Rejects vibe out of this song. You don't really get My Chemical Romance out of this song.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it's definitely a single, but then the record comes out and you're like, dude, this is way different than the rest of the record. Like,
so very different.
I feel like they're probably sick of playing it.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
Justin, let's take a listen to the chorus to this song. We all know the chorus. Honestly, I'm having like a weird Mandela effect.
Okay.
I was sure that there was a chorus where he just sang it as "I'm okay," and then it was like later revealed that he sings "I'm not okay," almost like, but that doesn't happen, and I don't know why I think that happens.
It just like in the bridge, he's just like saying, "I'm okay now. I'm okay now."
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Like he is saying,
"I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Trust me."
And then it's back to "I'm not okay." Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
And I get that, dude. When I was a teenager, I was angsty, and I thought I figured the whole world out.
I mean, I think it still can apply to even us millennials, anybody really these days that are involved trying to buy a house and stuff, and crushing our spirit. And I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay with crippling
and all this crippling
unending
debt.
inflation.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm one car accident away from never being able to afford food again. That's awesome.
Yeah.
These three songs in particular all have guitar solos, and each one is different. Yeah. And each one almost makes such a different statement.
Yeah,
this is the more like legato playing guitar.
Yeah, this is kind of, it's got the Brian May harms on it.
Yeah. Let's take a listen. Yeah, very Brian May's, very like Beatles-esque.
Yeah.
Like George Harrison-y kind of solo, like later Beatles.
Yeah.
Like the studio album only Beatles.
I could see them someone make an AI cover of this song as Queen or the Beatles for sure.
I like it. It's a good song. It's my number 7.
Okay.
It's not my least favorite thing on this record, but this song is just okay.
That's right in the middle, huh?
Right in the middle.
I think I originally had this at like 12. Just
yeah.
Dude, I'm so sick of this song. As I am. But there were a few others that just didn't quite hit it for me. I actually put it at number 9.
Number 9? Just
I don't know, like
it's an okay song, man. It's not my favorite thing on this record by any means.
No.
I get why it's the anthem to the whole scene and why, like, at the right time at the right place this song was there. it's not the best song on this record, and it's kind of boring to me compared to some of the other fire you get on this record.
It is
But
100%.
it is it's just all right.
I'm probably skipping it.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if this song got skipped.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. I knew this song was coming up and I was like, I got to listen to it because I need to be able to articulate my feelings on it.
No.
Beyond that, I'm okay. Anywho, Justin, let's move on to probably, I called it the ballad
This is
of the
ballad.
record.
It is
The ballad of the record.
Yeah.
The Ghost of You.
I never.
He found his chorus pedal.
Dude, I actually really like this song.
It's
like
a banger.
to have at least one song on this record being kind of more of a ballad,
Mm-hmm.
and to hear Gerard Way like actually reel it in just a little bit,
Yeah.
is really, really nice. And it's got great building vibes, as it goes from the verse into the chorus. It's got a really nice like upward momentum. Justin, let's take a listen to the chorus to this. Powerful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, it's catchy, it's it's like really passionate. I think this is definitely one of those songs that when you get to the Black Parade, you're not surprised by a lot of the songs on the Black Parade, because I do think that album does have quite a bit more like slower kind of ballad kind of songs on it, and you're kind of a bit more prepared. I think this song is a better song than I want to give this band credit for writing,
Mhm.
because I totally dig this song.
I mean, yeah, obviously the softest, slowest song on the record, but I mean it still holds up. Super catchy chorus, can't complain. It's all good stuff.
It's all good stuff. Have you seen the music video for this one?
I don't think I have seen the video for this one.
So this is the one where they're in like, it looks like a ballroom for like military,
Okay.
like a military ball. And then when it gets to that chorus, it switches to the battlefield. And it's like, you're never coming home, because of like, and again, think about 9/11,
Yeah.
right? I dig this song. I dig the atmosphere of it. I think it's really well written and really well performed. This is actually my number 3.
Got the Dale. We found the Dale.
Got the Dale. I was always excited every time that this song would come up.
Yeah, I mean it's a great one. This is the one that I don't know. I don't want to say struggled the most with, but I mean, I don't know. To me, it just had to go right in the middle, just right in the middle of the album for me. It was number 7,
Sure.
like dead middle.
I get it. Maybe I'm getting soft in my older age because I've been putting ballad songs like higher up.
I like the catchies, and you like this.
I like my soft.
Yeah.
I'm getting into smooth jazz.
I love how they transition. Well, it doesn't transition, but just like the next one is just like, oh, okay, we're back into it.
Yeah. Hey, we're a punk rock band.
Yeah.
Don't you forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, the next song is "The Jet Set Life Is Gonna Kill You."
For some reason, I thought it was
It's
Thank
hard.
You for the Venom was next, but I was wrong.
No. We've got "The Jet Set Life Is Gonna Kill You." And I don't fault you for not remembering this song, because I think it is kind of forgettable in and of
Yeah.
itself. So the chorus is not as like catchy as all the other choruses, And it does have, to me, like that theatrical moments again.
Mm-hmm.
But this is almost reminds me more of like if you ever go to like a musical, when they're in between the big songs, they have these like interlude kind of songs sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what this kind of feels like, you know? The chorus isn't bad.
No, but it's not as strong as the others by any means.
No, not by any means. Let's take a listen to the chorus real quick. Like I said, I think that really just has more of like a musical theater kind of a feel to it. I like the big like, all right, like that, like
Yeah.
that little bit, and then the rest of it, it's just, I don't know. Like, how are you gonna have so many powerful choruses up to this one?
Yeah.
This is probably like a banger live. Like if you were at the actual show and you saw them play this, it's probably really dope.
Yeah.
But take it or leave it, I could leave it, honestly.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that way. Like I said, this feels more of just like a narrative song. Like if they were following that concept, and this song probably means a lot to some other people, but from just a songwriting standpoint, this just isn't as big as the other songs. And it had a lot of songs that it preceded it
Mm-hmm.
that are just so strong. I think this one probably just gets thrown kind of to the side.
No.
Justin, this is my number 11.
Yeah, I mean 10 for me. There was like another one I like kind of shifted with it, but yeah, it's not that strong of a song to me.
No, not at all. It's there. The one part that I didn't get a clip of that I always thought was kind of interesting was where they give him like the really harsh like auto tune.
Oh yeah,
It's a kind of an interesting like little thing, but it doesn't redeem the song enough for me to be like,
save you.
it's not gonna kill you. You know what might kill you is this next one,
Here we go.
the interlude.
Number one.
I forgot I made that clip so long.
Number one.
Because I really, number one, I
plus 3.
like I said,
add a
yeah.
3 to that one. Because this is number 13. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
let's just say skip this song. If you call it a song, it's obviously meant there for just a style, for like a thing.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not really worth talking too much more. It's kind of
It's an
just
interlude.
there, and it's the interlude. What would I do to make this better? I probably would have just taken his vocals off, honestly. A little instrumental interlude wouldn't have been the worst thing in this album.
Yeah.
And the guitar isn't that bad.
Yeah. It's
If you just took his vocals, but I guess, again, it's a style choice. It's
I think it's meant to be just kind of unsettling and
because I think it braces you for like the first vocals you hear in the next song that is kind of like that same out of tune, but then like snaps right in right when it's supposed to.
yeah.
Justin, let's hit skip, double tap. Let's move on to Thank You for the Venom.
Yeah, but it works. It works so well there.
Yeah. It works right there.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize that Avenged Sevenfold showed up.
What?
Dude, that riff is straight up Unholy Confessions.
I mean, is it?
Dude, it is that same like. I guess it's because it's that like heavy, hard like metal riff with like
yeah.
with
I
like
got
band
you.
hits on it.
I was like, the
Yeah.
riff is not it at all, but the hits I get.
I know it's not, but the first time I heard it, I think this was probably like the one song that like I
Yeah.
wanted to gravitate towards because it was like heavier.
Yeah.
When I was younger, that I wanted to gravitate towards. And then that other like really like the chordy guitar part gets pushed so much forward
Yeah.
that you don't get to necessarily hear all the riff being like intricate again. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's definitely thrown into the background and it upsets me a little bit, but Justin, what a banger is this song.
It's so good.
Holy crap,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, this is what you're looking for that. This is that riff.
This is that riff,
And
but dude, everything down to like the vocals that on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So good.
This is one of
Dude,
my favorite choruses of the album for sure.
Yeah, dude. I absolutely love it. Let's take a listen to that chorus.
So give me all your poison, and give me all your pills, and give me all your hopeless hearts and make me ill. You're running after something that you'll never kill. If this is what you want, then fire I will.
How many words rhyme with ill? You know?
I don't know, but he finds them.
Found them all.
He found him. Dude, there's something about this chorus that honestly I feel like I can just see Andrew WK like
Yeah.
hitting a piano like ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Like for some reason I don't know if it's actually there
Yeah.
because the guitars are so overdriven, but there's just something about it that just gives me that like that kind of piano high pitch just kind of like vibe. Dude, absolutely banger lyrics.
Yeah.
He's got one of my I don't want to be the lead of the scene unless you make me, you know, like or
Yeah.
something. It's something to that effect, and it's just like too bad, dude. You
Yeah.
you signed up for this at this point.
Did it to yourself.
This song has it all to me. It's got the theatrics. It's got the awesome chorus. I want to sing along with it. It's probably
Yeah.
the first chorus on the re-listens that I was just like, I've got to sing along with this.
Yeah, this is like if I was at this show, I'm partying live.
Give me all your poison and give me all your pills. And also has a great guitar solo in it. Let's take a listen. A little abrupt on the because it does like chill out right there,
Yeah.
and then they just bring it.
I love that little
Right
cut
back.
off. Like it almost seems like an accident, but they left it.
Yeah,
I love stuff like that.
I was pumped every time this song kept coming up on subsequent re-listens. Justin, this is the coveted number 2.
Oh. I didn't think that. Okay, we might have the same number 1. Okay. All right. Yeah, I have to the end, took my number 2 cuz to the end
Number 2
as
the
it
end.
as it should
Yeah.
be. And
You got to.
but this was number 4. Thank you for the poison. I didn't do it on purpose, but
Oh my God, dude. You would.
Yeah.
You would. Is your
It's-
next one your number 5 because it's Hang 'em High.
Yeah. Hang 'em 5.
Uh.
But I mean, banger song,
Banger
banger
song.
chorus. It deserves to be in the top 5 for sure.
This was duking it out with what I ultimately went with my number 1,
Yeah.
but this was like so hard for me not to put at number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I know that this was a single in like the European like market.
Yeah.
It should have been here as well.
I think it's got the appreciation it deserves now over here now.
All right, Justin, well, let's take a listen to their next song, Hang 'em High. I always thought I could whistle like that.
Nope.
No, I can't.
Nope.
Nope. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this.
I figured.
And I'm trying to formulate how I want to say this. That's just, I don't like this song.
Yeah. It's not my
it's so-
favorite.
I know it's punk rocky, and it definitely this has probably to me what feels like a lot more like what I think that they had on their first album.
Yeah.
But there's no like great chorus to it. I think I got the chorus part.
Yeah, there was one I guess it might have been this one. I was like, it's not very distinct. There's a couple.
Very hard to hear. Let
And-
me see if we synced up on the same chorus thought.
Shotgun sinners, wild eyed jokers, got you in my sights. Gun it while I'm holding on.
Yeah,
Was that pretty much it?
I think so.
Dude, it falls into the same idea that Jet Set Life had,
Yeah.
where it's just like, how are you going to have all these, like, really, like, even the more punk rocky songs that they have these great big, like, giant choruses that I've at this point of the album,
Mm-hmm.
I've come to expect. And then this one just kind of doesn't go anywhere, you know?
I'm starting to think is the chorus might be the "Don't so bury me."
Okay.
You know what I'm
So I
talking-
think I also got that part as well.
okay.
But it doesn't happen until almost like the 2-minute mark of the
Oh
song.
wow. Okay.
And so it's like very late. Let's take a listen to that part. I do have the bridge. What I called it the bridge,
Okay.
but it is like the style change for the song.
Stop if I fall and don't look back. Oh, baby, don't stop. Bury me and fade to black.
Definitely feels more
It's-
like a chorus.
It does, but it's not placed in the chorus slot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you had to take, so you know, like we've talked about this before. A lot of songs have the A-B style of like songwriting. This song breaks that mold a bit.
Yeah.
Right? And I think obviously it's a stylistic choice. That chorus is all right, but even if that bridge is all right, even if it was considered a chorus, I still don't think it's like as strong
No, not
as
at
a
all.
lot of the other choruses. Overall, Justin, I feel like there's just nothing remarkable about this song. I feel like I could have heard of 100 other bands write something very similar to it.
Yeah. It's a skippable track for sure.
It's skippable. Where do you have it now, dude?
I think we have it in the same spot.
Do we? It's my number
12.
12. Yeah, it totally is. Yeah, it is definitely the
Achoo.
number 12. Achoo, yeah.
I mean, it's a fine song. Fine. It's fine.
It has notes and a rhythm. Dude, I was taken aback at this song when I first
Yeah.
heard it because I was like, really?
It's forgettable. I
It's
think.
okay. Yeah, I wasn't too excited about it. It's number 12. I think that was pretty obvious that we were going to sync
I
up
mean,
on
the
that one.
interlude, just underneath it.
Just underneath it. That's a point for. That interlude
That's
is
a
a point for.
That's funny.
All right, Justin, let's move on to It's Not a Fashion Statement, It's a Death Wish.
For what you did to me, or what I'll do to you. You get what everyone else gets. You get a lifetime.
Good time.
It's a good time, dude. This to me is that like that culmination of like a punk sound and a kind of, and don't come at me, haters, a hardcore sound.
A little bit, yeah. And it's just got those thirds going, which I'm a sucker
Yeah.
for. Like, I do it in almost every song I write. Like, I have to have like the main chord and then the third playing octaves like as another chord. Like,
As like, yeah,
oh, it's so
it thickens the air. It
Yeah.
thickens the spectrum up a whole lot. Yeah, it reminds me of like the comeback.
yeah, exactly. They do that a lot, and just metalcore-y, hardcore. Yeah,
Yeah, which is why I said it was kind of like hardcore,
Yeah.
but I know it's not like, well, actually, it's hard. This is a hardcore.
I mean, you could lump it in with it, for sure.
Yeah. As far as like the style of this song, it is kind of all over the place. Definitely breaks that A-B structure,
Yeah,
but it not in like how Hang 'Em High does it. Like this actually still has some like meat and potatoes to it. Justin, I know I was the one solely responsible for the clips this week,
Yeah.
but
it's all
I
good.
really couldn't find anything that I was like, this is a definitive chorus part.
I think there's like 3 different kind of parts. You think it's about to get to a chorus, and then it's
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
the nice thing is this song flows really well.
Yeah.
To not have like so when you think of like a chorus, you think of like the peak, verses are valleys, choruses are like the peaks, and then like I did grab another clip of what I thought was just a cool part, as I deemed it on this song.
Cool part.
A cool part. So let's take a listen to the cool part.
I will avenge my ghost. Every breath I take while coming back surrounded. When I take you home, I'll take you back the life you stole. This all you put me in wasn't deep enough, and I'm coming out right now.
Okay, so I get it. That was like a bunch of cool parts, but they were all cool, and they really flow really well. And I think for each little section to be so distinctly different was just really well like written. To make it all work, it and to make all those parts fit together is just like a really to pull it off.
Yeah.
Is really neat.
Still not maybe we didn't really listen to the chorus, but it's not really that strong of a chorus wherever it is.
Wherever it is, yeah, it not strong enough for me to be like that's the chorus of the song.
But
All in all, this is a song. It's a good punk kind of song, but it exists on this album, and it kind of worked itself down to my number 10.
11 for me.
11 for you. Oh man. Look, we are not 1-to-1 on this for sure, but
It's pretty
we
close.
have definitely been really close. This is probably the closest that we've been on a ranking.
I definitely think we have the same number 1 now.
Oh man,
But
you don't know. There's
I
2
think-
songs left,
I
but
know. But I do think with this song, like, the catchiest part is the intro. And, like, all those, like, that part gets me hype, and then, like, the rest of the song happens, and I'm not.
yeah.
Like, I love the intro, and then everything else happens. I'm like, no.
I know.
But I don't. It just
the setup is so great
yeah.
for
Like-
no chorus payoff that
Yeah.
you expect.
This
like,
I thought this was gonna be like To the End Part 2 kind of thing. Like, it reminds me of that, but it's nowhere near To the End.
no,
Still great. It's still a
I
good song.
agree.
Though.
still good. Let me put it this way: I would listen to it easily, and I think this is probably like the bottom of me. Like easily, I would listen to this before I'd go to Hang 'Em High or the interlude. Which,
Yeah.
Anywho, Justin, let's take a listen to their next song, which I think is a pretty good banger called "Cemetery Drive."
This night, walk the dead in a solitary stone.
That really neat little like marching drum kind of
Yeah.
intro, kind of like a really nice, pretty guitar. I think that actual guitar part is probably one of those that's like, I bet it's really hard to play,
Yeah.
but it's like deceptively, I don't know.
Easy.
Again, straightforward song. It's got soft verses with big choruses.
It's a great chorus.
Great chorus.
Definitely a chorus.
That
We finally found
one I picked out. That one was easy.
Finally found it.
When they want to, they write these really nice, big, epic sounding choruses, and that
Mhm.
one's just right up there. When they make it kind of indistinguishable, like this band so hits so well on that, like when they do like the arena style, like Def Leppard-y big choruses, they nail it. It's the other songs that I always have a little bit of trouble with.
Yeah.
All in all, dude, this song is okay.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No.
Where does this song sit for you?
I think I just quit the podcast. This is the best chorus on the. This is number one, dude.
This is your number one.
I love this song
Oh.
so much, dude. I go back. I don't know what happened. Like that's when I was saying the other day. I was like, dude, Cemetery Drive just hasn't been playing. I don't know why, and I was so pissed because it's my favorite song.
It's your favorite song. Oh,
And
man.
just-
Did you ever figure out what was happening?
I don't know, but I mean, as I pull it up on Spotify, it's all there. I felt like it just kept skipping it, but I feel like apparently you were like controlling my phone because it's just an okay song and skipping it. Oh, that's a shocker, dude.
That's a shocker. I know. All the buildup to right here at the very end.
I thought this was gonna be it.
Man. This is upsetting. Not really. Dude, I totally get it. That chorus is great and it's hooky and it's memorable. Right?
Yeah.
I think the song that I chose for my number one was the first one that made me like step back and go, oh snap. This is a great song. This is not on the skip list.
No.
This song gets played for sure. Just about any from this song, the number 9 and up, I could just listen to. I know like this could honestly be higher up in my ranking. I put it at number 10.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
But now that we're talking about it and I'm listening to it, it was like 11 o'clock at night, dude. I was half awake when I was solidifying my list. I like this song probably actually better than It's Not a Fashion Statement, but I think I would prefer to listen to Helena. To me, I think, the chorus does all the heavy lifting. To me, I think the rest of it is.
I think it was enough to put it at number one for me. I don't know. It's the one I've
good.
probably went back to the most, so I had to put it there. That and
And
To
that's
the
okay,
End.
Justin.
To the End was hard to. That could have been number one as well.
To the End is really good. Thank You for the Venom just really stole my heart. And then, of course, is there anything else you would like to say about this one before we go on to the last track?
And I don't think we
Since
need.
I
I don't think we need to go to the last
Sucked
track. 'cause-
the thunder out of the room for
Yeah,
you.
This is
It's-
done.
Dude, it's a good song. I agree with you. It's a good
Yeah.
one. It's not my number one, though. It's not my number
Not
one.
good.
But what is my number one is I Never Told You What I Do for a Living. Here's what I like about this song.
I'm about to rip into you, dude.
Go ahead, Justin. I can handle it. So, number one, I think this is a blend of everything that we've heard up to this point, done extremely, extremely well. It's got the rock anthem kind of sound. It's got the punk rock kind of sound. It's got that theatrical rock execution that I think that they kind of lost somewhere around Jet Set Life, and they really bring it back for this one. That kind of like really theater-esque.
It's a good way to
you know?
wrap it all up.
I think it's a great way to rack it all up. I think they got great changes in their style and their time signatures with this song. Probably one of my favorite parts is what I kind of deem maybe the chorus, because it is the part they repeat, and it reminds me of probably one of my favorite bands, the Deer Hunter, on one of their if you know the Color Spectrum album, they have like the Black album. It has a part that I swear is so close to this, and I think that's what made me like latch onto this song. Let's take a listen to what I deem the chorus.
That is a great style change, just right in the middle. Just going really heavy and then
Ring outs, and then they back it off,
Yeah.
and then they punch you right back into the face. And it almost sounds like they turn those guitars up just a little bit in that little lax period.
I forgot about this song. Like after, I mean, obviously number one, I was like done with the album.
Right.
And then this, I was
when you found it, you were
yeah,
like, I'm
it's
done.
yeah, cool. And then this happens. I'm like, oh yeah. I forgot how cool that chorus is.
That chorus to me is like what stuck with me.
Yeah.
Because it was
Very-
like I said, I'm passively listening to this while I'm doing some stuff at work, and then the next thing you know, that part comes in, and I mentally, I was still working, don't you worry, but I mentally took a break, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That it stuck out to me, and then of course they have like, to me, the one like really, it's not a chug part, but it is like,
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, it is kind of like a cool little like instrumental heavy break. It's not a chug part, but let's take a listen to that.
It's how we go, and we all fall down. And we'll all dance along to the tune of your dance.
There's a lot of good stuff in this song.
I had to pick the part that like they do a 6/8 part.
You're all about the
You
6/8.
I do like the 6/8, and I couldn't choose Ghost of You because even though it feels like it should be, it is in 4/4. Dude,
Mhm.
to me this has like I said, all the theatrical moments that I feel like have been leading up to this point in the album, and the fact that they end this album in this way, good, very very good. This is my number one. I think it is everything that I think My Chemical Romance does well, and they do it well.
They do it.
Now, it's not the catchiest chorus. It's not the biggest chorus. It's not the most playful song that they have. It's not the softest song they have. It's not a lot of the big extremes, but when it comes all together in this one song, I really, really dig it.
That's fair. It's an okay song.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm throwing it back at you.
Yeah, throw it at me.
No, it's a. I thought this was gonna be a lot lower because I forgot about the song, so I was like in the middle. I was like, "How does the last song go?" You know, because I mean, when you're off, fresh off the number one pick, it's hard to come back from that as it should be. But this is number 8 for me. It's a solid song.
Number 8. Yeah.
Definitely will listen to this over I'm Not Okay.
So I struggled with this one because it was between this one and Thank You for the Venom. Those two songs could be extremely interchangeable to me,
Yeah.
to where which one I like the most. This one just kind of won out the day.
I think this is the first time so far where like something in the later half of the record has made it to your number 1.
Absolutely. And that is one of
Yeah.
those like, and I put this in one of the other songs. I think it was, I can't remember, but it was saying how well paced this album feels.
Mm-hmm.
And, because obviously when we listen to this, I listened to the whole album pretty much from beginning to end over and over and over again. And it is incredible how there's not really a lull too much. There are some songs that I just prefer not to listen to.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there doesn't really feel that sense of like, I've already heard all the good songs on the album, so I'm just listening to the last half just to get through it. I think there was value all the way through this.
Mhm.
And I found that is something that is harder to be done, to where like I can find, even though the front half of this album does seem to have kind of the more catchy of the songs, it's definitely, if you look at my numbers, the numbers are higher. The last few good songs, Thank You for the Venom, Cemetery Drive, and I Never Told You What I Do, how do some bands totally miss that aspect of making your album? Like, we write good songs. Can we fit these in spots that make sense?
Yeah.
And some bands, they write where one song just bleeds into the next one, so it does have that like natural feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, sometimes you get bored halfway through the middle of the album, and then they pick it back up. But I never really got that sense of like, I'm bored.
No, I agree. It's pacing is done very well on this album. They put the two like
Absolutely.
kind of slower. I mean, you got I'm Not Okay and Ghost of You back to back, which are the two singles.
And I want to say that this record had actually been out for at least a year, which singles typically happen early on in the life cycle of like an album. And Ghost of You came out like a year after it had already been released, like the whole
Really?
album. And so really crazy that, how popular this band was, and that the song, probably one that the record label wasn't expecting to be so popular, ended up kind of coming out of nowhere. Because I want to say, when I was looking at the Spotify song listens, like Helena obviously has the most with 400 million listens.
Has more than I'm Not Okay.
I'm Not Okay has 446 million.
Okay.
So yeah, those are.
Yeah.
And then the next closest one is Ghost of You with 168.
Wow. They're
Million.
slacking.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody even likes this band.
Yeah. I mean, that's a significant jump, too. I mean, it doesn't seem like it because it's just like 400 and 100, but I mean, that's 300 million more listens.
That is the population of the United States, all collectively decided to listen to that song one more time. And then what's interesting, kind of like, not that I use this metric when deciding what songs I like and don't like of these albums. Give 'Em Hell Kid only had like 62 million. To the End had 55 million. Jet Set Life had 37. Interlude had 20 million. That's right. 20 million people suffered, or 20 million, at least 20 million times that song got played. Your number one is at 67 million.
I mean, am I beating you?
You're beating me. Yeah, because I Never Told You What I Do for a Living only has 38.
Yeah.
And so there are only 38 million Chads out there that all recognize that song. That's great. Or forgot to turn the record off and let it play all the way through the end. But Justin, this was a lot of fun. I was so excited to get to talk to you about this album, especially after re-listening to it and just realizing what a treat this album was.
Very good.
I'll be listening to this album again.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely didn't burn myself out of it, and I think I really found some really good songs that are just, they're gonna go on the mixtape, on the blank CD.
Just gonna say, yeah, it's a great album. If you haven't listened for whatever reason, do yourself a favor and go listen right now.
Especially if you're into any kind of like, if you're into like just rock music. I don't want to say punk rock. I don't want to say metal. I don't want to, just, if you like, because I feel like rock is like the all-encompassing like genre. Like if you like bands with distorted guitars, it doesn't matter what age you are, I think there is something good here for everyone. Super good. Cannot recommend more. I used to think that Black Parade was my favorite of their albums.
No.
I mean, dude, this is so good. And I'm glad we took the dive into it.
And we'll get to Black Parade, I'm sure, eventually.
And that'll be a fun one because I do like that album.
It's a good one.
But it's a good one. Well, everybody, thank you for listening. You can follow us at Beardsby Rankin on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you've liked what you've heard, please subscribe, leave us a like, rating, review, all them things. We would like to hear from you.
Yep. Also,
And also
streaming on Spotify, Amazon. Not Amazon. What? Apple Music. Wherever you stream. I don't know.
I think we're on Amazon. If anyone uses Amazon
all
Music,
that stuff, you could probably find it anywhere.
Yeah, you can find us. So if you're watching on YouTube, go listen to us on one of your podcast apps. If you are listening on a podcast app, come see our derpy little faces on YouTube.
Yep.
And take a watch of my epic editing skills,
Yeah.
which are getting better with each episode, I think.
They are. I agree.
And if you like this content, you can also follow Justin at Justin Scott Riffs for great guitar playing content.
Debatable.
There's no debate there, man. It's some good stuff. And Justin, what will we be ranking next week?
I believe we are doing. We're gonna switch it up a bit. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were doing something else, and then I just remembered Kill Switch Engage.
Yes,
End
yes.
of Heartache. The End of Heartache?
The End of Heartache, I think.
Is it just End of Heartache? Either way,
Let me
banger.
Either way.
banger.
banger. I've been having it's the End of Heartache, and
Okay.
yeah, I've been having a real good time like they just don't make them like this anymore, Justin.
I mean, they are the OG metalcore.
Yeah, dude. And so good. I'm having fun re-listening to that album. But until then, if you would like to listen along and give us your ranking, comments, or anything, anywhere you can find us. All right now. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.